Well, as you can see, there's many imperfections are going to stay in the heart. That's going to be the way that it is. And I will sand it to the best it can get sanded at 40. I think I'm going to do 60 with the 6-inch orbital sander, just to see if I can get any more with the 60-inch, and just one last pass, and then 80 all over, then probably 120 all over. I probably will hit it with some 220 as best I can, depending on how much time is left. But I don't know why I'd go past 120, 220. It's not going to be perfect. There's just too many deep gouges from the shaper. So, lesson learned, although it's perfect, Anyway, here's a good shot of where it's at. Alright, I'm doing a little bit of, I think this is time lapse on the heart sanding. I'm not going to do much of this. I wanted to just show you folks the process. I was there with the belt sander, and the belt sander is necessary to kind of really get the gouges down to a flat, smooth surface. I'm doing 40 grit on the belt sander, so it's taking off a lot of material, which is fine, and it's getting it down, and it's really the right tool for the job. And then I'm kind of in it with a 40 grit orbital sander, trying to get the rest of it, but as I mentioned in the beginning, it's going to end up being filled with imperfections, which is totally fine. I'm just going to do my best. So this is probably the only sanding video I'm going to do. Just wanted to get you guys a look at the process, and a good look at the heart. What isn't really clear from this high up angle is how beautiful the rings are, and I hope I can do it justice, really drawing out all of that beauty in this really large piece of wood, right? This heart that we're looking at right here is debatably liftable by 2 strong men. I'm still waiting for a friend to show up to help me figure out if it's even liftable. Erin and I tried it. She was just home from work, so she was pretty worked, but we could barely budge it. It's so heavy. It's such a big piece of wood. That said, lots of magic there, lots of gravitas, right? And I'm trying to pull out all the really beautiful pieces. Wood is so beautiful when it gets sanded down and some oil gets put on these redwoods. It's just, I hope, gonna really pop. Tonight, after I get done with a little bit more sanding, I'm going to sand down some pieces of redwood, and then I've got some oils that I got from a company called Odie's Oil Company. There's a super penetrating oil, there's a regular Odie's awesome oil, and then there's butter. And then I've even got a little bit of gold dye, because the original application stated that one of them would have a slight gold tint to it, so I was going to experiment with putting this gold dye into a bunch of oil and letting it diffuse, so it's just a subtle gold. Anyway, I'm going to put all of those on a piece of redwood so I can kind of see what 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coats, 4 coats looks like, what the super penetrating oil looks like, what the butter looks like, how it's all going to look. I have to get that figured out here, so that, I don't know, in a couple of weeks, I guess, when I'm done sanding, I know exactly what I'm going to put on there. We're getting down to the wire. Alright, anyway, this is probably the last of the sanding, so there's the heart. Thanks for watching.